And then just give me an example from yourself. Let's just say, for the sake of this example, you are in a completely new city, you don't know anybody there, and you want to start connecting with people. How would you approach that process?
Yeah, yeah. So, I actually do this a lot because
Okay.
um, because there's so many cities now. Like at this point, 4 years later, there's so many cities in the world that I go to that like I know someone or I know a friend of a friend, right? So if I post that I'm gonna go to a city, like I will probably have friends before I even get to that city, which is a beautiful thing, and I love that that's a thing now. So what I've actually been doing intentionally is for the first 2 weeks, I don't tell anyone I'm in a city.
Let me tell you a fun fact about our podcast. We're at the beginning process and you can have a tremendous influence over our channel. By just liking and subscribing to our channel, you'll help us increase the quality of the videos that we're creating. Also, you'll stay in the loop with the new videos which are coming every week. Thank you and enjoy the episode.
First 2 weeks, I don't tell anyone I'm in a city, and I like I like to test myself. I'm like, can I make friends in 2 weeks? And so I've been doing that over the last 4 years of like, what are the things that I can do in each city? And I've been creating, it's kind of nerdy, but I've been creating strategies based off of me testing myself in these cities of like, okay, in 2 weeks, if I try not drinking, how can I make friends? If I try only trying to make friends with locals, what do I do? If I try only doing things from online, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So um, what I did, I give Da Nang for an example. So came here. Actually, I won't give Da Nang as an example because I did know someone when I got here. But I will give Manila as an example of a place that was very difficult for me to make friends, and this was recently. I went for the first time last July, and I did not know a single soul in the city. And I had landed and I also didn't do too much research. So typically, what I would like to do is introduce myself via Facebook group, and I'm very intentional about like how to find these Facebook groups. So actually, I did this in Manila. So initially, when I went a month prior. I did my usual to-dos. And what I did was I found Facebook groups for digital nomads and for expats. There weren't really that many in the Philippines, but I introduced myself anyway to a few groups. And my introduction is very specific. So I give them a little context of who I am and where I've been recently, and then very specific ways to play. So, like, tell me ways that you can, or salsa communities, or like specific sports or groups or whatever that I was looking for. I put that into my intro, and then a way to connect with me, like via Instagram, for example. And I had gotten some good, useful tips from people, but what I noticed in those groups was there weren't that many digital nomads that were active. And then two, the expats even were much older. It was more of a retirement community, ex-military retirees, or just like local Filipinos, but like a different demographic, like not what we're used to. And so it was actually very difficult for me by the time I landed, because these normal traditional ways that I would utilize in order to connect with people were not working for this group in Manila. Um, so I tried different strategies. And so the other thing that I did was really lean into play. So I'm like, okay, I'm not finding the groups or the events that are happening. So let me go and find the activities that I want to do. So I found salsa classes in a salsa community. I found a meditation center and yoga that offered yoga as well. And then I found art classes that were hosted by local community centers as well. So those were like three different play personalities. I was like, I'm going to lean into this. And actually made some friends with locals doing those three activities. The salsa community was a really great one for me. Doing art classes, doing the meditation twice a week also was really great. And I met some people through that. And then the other method that I tested out there was I created my own meetups because I couldn't find any of the ones I was looking for. So then I saw that there was a local salsa event that was happening at one of the restaurants that I really liked. And I went on Bumble BFF. So I did kind of looked at different resources online that I could take advantage of. And so Bumble BFF was one. very strategic in using that. And I put people who like salsa that were new to town because they were more likely to show up and be less flaky, and people who like to travel, of course. Those were my 3 filters. And then I invited all the matches to go to a salsa event with me, and I created a WhatsApp group for all of them. And I ended up with like 10, 15 people, and it was a lot of fun. And that ended up being like my group of people that I ended up going out with for like the next couple of months. So if you can't find the community using Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups, or any of those like online methods, I tried Internations as well, and it was also an older crowd. You can lean into community events, or you can build your own. So those are some methods.